You ever get that feeling, the one where the second you start to make some real progress, the people you thought were on your side start to get a little weird? Well, today we're getting into the psychology of what it really takes to be great and the price you have to pay for ambition.
So let's just get right to the heart of it with this one question. Why is it that when you finally start winning, the people around you get so uncomfortable? I mean, it happens all the time, and believe me, there's a deep psychological reason for it. And that leads us to the core idea of this whole explainer, a quote that just flips the entire script. What if all that criticism, all that doubt, what if it isn't a sign that you're failing? What if it's actually the ultimate sign that you're finally doing something right? Okay, first up, let's completely reframe how we think about hate. It's not a roadblock, it's a milestone. You see, for most people out there, criticism is a stop sign. It means turn back, you're going the wrong way. But for elite performers, it's a green light. They know that if you're not getting any resistance, you're probably not pushing any boundaries. So why all that resistance? Well, a huge part of it comes down to something we can call a cognitive gap. It means you and you're just not thinking on the same level anymore. And this is where you can really see the two different worlds. You have the 99% who are pretty happy living on the surface, just accepting things the way they are. And look, that guarantees an average life. But the 1%, they're wired differently. They need to go deep. They question everything. They are just obsessively driven. And because of that, a communication barrier just naturally forms. It's like you're speaking two completely different languages.
So here's what you've got to get. That look they give you, the one that says you're crazy, that's not an insult. It's confirmation. It's proof that what you're seeing, what you're building, it's happening in a dimension that is literally invisible to them. That's a good thing.
But here's the thing, it doesn't always stop at a simple misunderstanding. It can get emotional. Your success can start to feel like a personal threat to the people around you.
I want you to picture it like this. All your hard work, your discipline, your wins. It's like you're switching on this giant, powerful spotlight. And that spotlight, well, it doesn't just shine on you. It spills over. It shines a really harsh light on everything and everyone around you. And for them, that light illuminates all their own missed chances, the risks they were too scared to take, all the safe choices they made that led to nowhere, and maybe, most painfully, their own lack of discipline. It forces a comparison that they are just not ready for.
And what's the most raw, human reaction to having all of that put on blast? It's resentment. You know, people say they want you to do well, but the old saying is true. They just don't want you to do better than them. Your success, without you even trying, is causing them psychological pain. So when they hit you with the be realistic or who do you think you are, you have to realize it's not actually about you. It's a defense mechanism, plain and simple. If they can pull you back down to their level, they get to justify their own inaction. It just makes them feel better about staying put. So all of this, the gap in thinking, the emotional backlash, it all leads to this very difficult but absolutely necessary phase of the journey. We call it the lonely chapter. This is that time. You know what I'm talking about. You're working while they're playing, you're focused while they're distracted, and you start to feel this distance growing between you and your old life. You're literally outgrowing your environment. And yeah, that creates friction. It can be a very, very lonely time. And right here, this is the test, because the temptation is so strong to just shrink back, right? To apologize for being ambitious, to just fit back in because being part of the crowd feels safe and comfortable. But you just can't do it. You cannot bend the knee just to make them feel better about themselves. So if you can't bend, what do? Well, this is where the elite mindset takes a radical turn. You don't just endure the doubt and the hate, you use it. It's time to weaponize their doubt. Now, when I say weaponize, I'm not talking about getting aggressive with other people. No. This is an internal process. It's like alchemy. It's the act of taking all that external negativity, all that doubt, and transmuting it into a powerful, clean-burning, unlimited source of fuel for your own fire. So how do you actually do that? It's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you isolate the criticism. You see it for what it really is, a reflection of their fear, not your reality. Second, you reframe it. It's not a negative, it's proof. Proof you're on the right track, that you're in that unseen realm. And third, and this is the most important part, you channel all of that energy directly into massive, relentless action. I want you to think of this whole experience as your training. The pain of being misunderstood, that sting of rejection from people you care about, that's just conditioning. It's building the mental calluses, the resilience you are absolutely going to need to thrive in the elite rooms you're fighting to get into.
And here's the best part, the payoff. Right now, their voices might seem really loud, overwhelming even. But as you keep working, as you keep building, your success starts making its own noise. And as your success gets louder and louder, their little voices of doubt, they just shrink. They fade away until they're completely irrelevant. You won't even hear them anymore.
So that leaves us with one final powerful question for you to think about. The critics are going to be there for a while, but as your world expands and your work starts to speak for itself, you get to choose what you listen to. You get to curate the voices you allow to shape your reality. So my question is, whose are you going to choose?